All right, we are at the Village Regular Council meeting, August 28th, 2025. It is 7:32 PM and we will start with roll call. All right. Councilperson Passion.
Here.
Councilperson Martin.
Here.
Councilperson Koss.
Present.
Councilperson Grant.
Here.
Council President Camera.
Yeah.
Councilperson Pencer.
Here.
And next we will do Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Next, we will move to our meeting minutes. Do we have a motion to approve our August 14th, 2025 committee as a whole minutes?
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? All right. Do we have a motion to approve our August 14th, 2025 council meeting minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? All right, next we are going to do our swearing in of our newest officer, Officer Frank Rhodes.
In the gray sweatshirt.
That was right there. Second. He's like, wait a minute, that one.
We gotta see some IDs.
I'm probably more nervous about this than anybody.
Okay. Can I move? Body armor. Can I move? Guys, body armor.
What's that? Oh, you don't. Yeah. Sorry. We'll temporarily relocate.
Should I get out of the way? Sorry.
You just stand your name instead of me saying your name, so just rip it onto it now, so you get it all. Ready? All right. I, and then state your name,
Frank Rhodes,
Raise your hand.
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the State of Ohio,
of the State of Ohio,
and laws and ordinances
and laws and ordinances
of the Village of Minerva Park,
of the Village of Minerva Park,
to which I am appointed,
to which I am appointed,
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
will discharge the duties
will discharge the duties
of this office.
of this office.
We have an inside joke on this. And I only messed it up once. There you
Sorry,
go.
Kathy.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you for thinking of that.
There's an officer in town. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Do you want to?
Thank you.
On behalf of the Village of Minerva Park, thank you so much. Yeah. Congratulations.
See, we gotta get used to that because we don't do it.
I know, you guys are, come on. This is so adorable.
All right.
The lights on.
All right, next we are going to move to, I believe, Kevin Hoffman from Westerville City Schools to explain to us what's going on in November.
Well, thank you very much.
You are so welcome.
Mayor Souther, members of the council, it is exciting to be with you tonight. My name is Kevin Hoffman. I'm a 43-year resident of the school district. I'm actually not, I'm not affiliated with the school district, but I am a member of Yes for Westerville Schools, which is the committee that is advocating for the levy that is on the ballot. And appreciate the opportunity to be with you this evening to tell you a little bit about what is on the ballot answer any questions you might have, and make this information available to the folks here in Minerva Park. It's always fun to come down to Minerva Park. It's such a beautiful, idyllic spot in the middle of everything, right? And, you know, what's that?
I said right.
I mean, and it's especially fun as I drive by the new schools and drive by Hawthorne. I've so many years there, but it's an important part of our community. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about what is on the ballot. If I could ask you to move to the next page. This year, this fall, November 4th to be exact, there is a school levy on the ballot. It is a 0.75% earned income tax. That earned income tax will generate about $24 million a year for the Westerville School District. It is a permanent levy, so it will be in perpetuity. But it's very different than almost anything that's been done by the school district in the past.
Yeah.
Technically, that's been on the ballot twice before, once in the 80s or 90s and once around 2011. But this is an earned income tax, so it's not a property tax. I think this is important because we know that if we listen to the news right now, this is the hot topic. Property taxes and school levies are a hot topic, and I think I really value what our Board of Education did in our community to take a decision that was aligned with what the community seems to be talking about, right? Which is, let's get away from property taxes. So moving to an earned income tax is very important. Key things here. They had the choice to go with a regular income tax or an earned income tax. They went with an earned income tax. So this is only on wages, salaries, and self-employment net income, right? So I think that's a key barometer, something that's different, and it's all of a sudden commensurate with income, right? So if somebody's income goes down, they pay less taxes against it. So it's really important that we look at it like that. If I can ask you to move to the next page. Beyond that, as I said, it's not a property tax, so it's very much aligned with the direction of the community. Thank you. The direction the community is looking towards, but because it's an earned income tax, it doesn't apply to retirement income, doesn't require, doesn't apply to pensions, to Social Security, to unemployment, to interest, dividends, capital gains, any of those other types of incomes. And so I think this is also very respectful to our community. We've got there's a senior citizen, or a senior component of our population, of which I'm getting closer to every day. We've heard the community, the Board of Education has heard the concerns that they have. Hey, they've gotten to a point where, some people say, hey, I might have to move out of my house because I can't afford property taxes. And so they've been very responsive to that request with this income tax. And so I think it's really important to understand that, and it's for all of us to understand exactly what that means. I talk about it myself. As I said, I'm not quite to the point where I'm, not an earned income, but, hopefully in the not too distant future, I will be in that stage myself. And when that is the case, then all of a sudden, I will not have to pay, this earned income tax. So I think it's really, if you think about it, it's proportional to the time when services are being rendered, right? Your prime earning years when probably you have children in schools and things like that. So it's very much proportionate. If I'd ask you to move forward just another page, some of the, people ask the questions why, right? The big whys, right? The state share of school funding has gone down by 25% since 2019, right? And that has a huge impact on a school district like Westerville. We're still in the top 20 school districts in the state from a size standpoint. Obviously we've all felt the impact that inflation has, and as there have been no changes, and actually decrease in the state share of funding, we've all dealt with inflation, and then the school district has those same inflationary pressures, right? And we need to be able to make sure that we can deal with that. The third point is that, the last budget, again, sort of hit the district again with about $2.3 million less budget than they were expecting. So all these things, come together to talk about why it's so important that we do this and we do this now, right? And the reason we talk about doing it now is because we set ourselves on a firm foundation so that we can ensure that the school district can still provide the services that our students need to be successful, that keeps our community successful. And if I can ask you to move to the next page. really, what will this do, right? This does set a funding framework that allows us to maintain the current academic programming, and that's important, right? For those of us who've been in the district for years, there have been times when, times got tough and programs went away. And one of the challenges, when programs go away, they often don't come back. Because you settle in at a lower level, and, the students get less services than what they had before. This allows us to preserve the co-curricular and the extracurricular activities that, are so critical to the whole self of the student, and also are the drivers that help them, that help some students stay involved in what's going on in the schools, right? It's easier to, deal with math and English and social studies when you know that you might have gym or art, or that you get, you have to do well there so you can go out for football or track or whatever it may be, right? Those are all critically important to the success of the students in our community. Of course, it helps ensure that we keep the class sizes at a reasonable level. Let's be realistic. No school district today has small class sizes, but they have reasonable class sizes, and we need to keep them reasonable. Kids today are, can be a handful, right? If you don't have them, you remember you've got neighbors that have them, and you've seen them running around. Think about 25 or 30 or 35 of those kids in a classroom. Those molecules going all around. But keeping those class sizes adequate means that the teachers can focus in on helping the students learn to their needs, right? And the last point, of course, becomes this, is important. It's important from a fiscal accountability standpoint, right? Nobody likes to, go out for a levy of any sort, right? As a public entity, you understand that as well as anybody. But, you do it just like the school district does it, because it's what you need to do to make sure that you are being fiscally responsible to your stakeholders to provide the services that you need. So that's exactly what the Board of Education has done here. They've said, we need to come out here, we need to put a viable, aligned approach out there as a levy for the district, for our community to take a decision on. And so I'm really, really excited about what they did, right? I'm really proud of them aligning with what the community is clamoring for, an earned income levy as opposed to a property tax levy to try and meet the needs of this community. So with that being said, maybe move to close here and take your questions, but there's, if somebody wants to see it, they can, scan that QR code. I think it takes us to our website, and you can hear all the different FAQs and all the other information that I didn't leave you with today. But is there any questions that I can answer for any of you to try and help you understand what the levy is about?
Earned income, is that happening in a lot of the other levies in Central Ohio?
I think we're starting to see that. There aren't that many levies going on right now. But it is definitely, as you talk to the different school districts, it's definitely at the top of mind, right?
There was a good amount in May.
What's that?
There was a good amount of levies stuff in May.
There were, and I think
Do you remember any? Yeah.
You're still seeing a lot of property tax, because that's what people are used to, right? But I think the responsive school districts are hearing what the community's talking about, hearing what our legislators are talking about, what's going on in the State House, and they're respectful of that, and coming to the table with a new and different idea.
Sure. Can you go back to the residents that would be affected with the retirees and all that?
Sure.
So I know the argument with the past levies had a lot to do with retirees, right?
Sure.
Because the property taxes would be increased, so now the retirees may say no, right? How is the demographic going to be changed here, and what challenges do we face as a community?
It's a good question, right? I mean, I think that, the senior demographic, those folks in that demographic that I've spoken to, look at this as almost a hallelujah. You paid attention, right?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. This is brilliant. This is brilliant.
I mean, I think that's the key, right? We've heard the, hey, how can we roll back property taxes are killing me. This is an approach that comes to the table that, if you're a senior citizen, if you're any member of our community and you have earned income, you will pay, this will levy a tax against that earned income, right? But if you've gotten to the point where you have left the workday world and you're living off your investments, your retirement, or social security, whatever it may be, this levy does not impact any of those things, and so it's really.
But they still vote on it?
Yeah, absolutely, I'm sorry. Yes, every registered voter in the Westerville School District, right, from, here in Minerva Park, through the members of the community who live in the city of Columbus, London Township, what city of Westerville, Genoa Township, everybody votes on this. As long as you're a registered voter age 18 or older, you have the opportunity to vote for this, to vote on this levy.
It's just
Hopefully
a
you
different,
vote yes.
just a different flavor, right?
It is a very different flavor, right?
And I didn't know this until tonight, sorry guys. It's just so do you feel like there's going to be concerns for the earned income individuals? Because I will be pensioned when I retire, my wife will be too, so I mean, I'm on that side of it eventually.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's a section of voters who will probably say yes, because it's not gonna impact them.
Right, there were, and I think that there were, those are the same voters that had challenged it saying yes, because it did impact them to a substantive degree with a property tax.
What is the percentage in Westerville schools of retirees or people that fit in this demographic? Do you have that?
And it's, I think, there's about 100,000 residents in the community, in the entirety of the school district.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you, sorry.
And of that, I think there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 20,000 that are in the demographic, the 60 plus demographic.
I have some questions. So I think the
Yes.
most common thing, or the most common sentiment that I get when we are discussing this in the village of Minerva Park is the fact that it becomes almost prohibitory to live here because we have a RETA tax on top of that, so that's 2%, plus another 0.75% on top of income tax. That is a large amount of money, especially for higher earners, so we're kind of almost distancing ourselves from, people that would want to live here because of the high tax amounts, and it's I think almost would be detrimental to our village in a lot of ways. It's thousands of dollars, additional thousands of dollars, and yet we have beautiful schools and things like that. And can you address that? That's, it's a lot of money.
Well, I think if I look at it here from the perspective of Minerva Park, right, it costs money to run your village, right? And you said you have a 2% RETA.
And the majority
And we don't
goes-
get reciprocated.
Yeah,
at all.
it's not reciprocated,
So
and
it's
the majority goes
a
towards.
100% payment.
It's 4%.
Yeah, and how much of that goes towards Westerville schools?
Yeah, it's for a lot.
A lot of it goes towards Westerville schools.
I thought it was
That-
all schools, so.
Wait a second, a lot of that RETA goes to Westerville too?
No,
none of
no,
that.
that's
Property, yes, the property, the majority of our property goes towards Westerville schools.
That is
And
correct.
therefore, in order to maintain our village, we had to have an unreciprocated RETA. And now, there's an additional 0.75%. Towards
Well, I think
Westerville schools.
the thing I would ask you to think about is, yes, the costs can, just like for your running the village here, the costs continue to go up. And there aren't many mechanisms, just like you for here, there aren't that many mechanisms to generate that revenue. So you could look at the options available to you. And, I think the Board of Education looked at the two primary options that are available, right? A property tax or an income tax this time out. And they said that at this point, the right answer for the community is an income tax, because that's really the conversation that's going on, not just in our community, but in the state as a whole. An earned income tax was the most sensible, right? They could have come with a property tax that could have generated the same amount of money, but it would have had a different impact, right? So I guess to address your point, Ms. Goss, a little bit more directly, right? One way or another, to fund the schools, there's going to have to be revenue that is commensurate with the expenses that, provide the services. So I think they looked and said, the community, it makes sense to go in this direction. I'm sure that Minerva Park is in some ways like most of the school district where, I said 15 or so % were in the 60 plus, right? And Minerva Park is probably, I didn't look at the demographics, but, maybe it's in that same.
It's changed, there's a lot of young families here.
Yeah.
That's wonderful, but, the net of it is that, if we look at it, it's trying to find, what's respectful to the whole district, and, it was they made the best choice they could, and I think the appropriate choice at this point in time to move forward, to provide the funding that's necessary to pay for the education of the students of our community.
One other thing to note, this would be important income taxes, that Westerville, much like Dublin, has a lot of outside employees coming in. There's a lot of businesses net profits. You have a significant number of outside folks now, much like in Dublin, Westerville, that will fund your school district now.
Well, just to make sure that I understood that.
It's income tax, right?
So it's an income tax, but it is only, it's levied upon residents, not upon the work. That's what's unique about school district income tax.
And to be clear, yes, it's levied on those that have kids or live in the school district.
It is levied on wage earners
Yes.
that in the school district, right? So if you live in the boundaries of the school district, then you pay. So it's different than a municipal income tax. A municipal income tax is levied on people that actually work and live in those districts without the reciprocity.
Have you seen other, I know we talked about Central Hop, but has there other examples nationwide where this has become a trend or successful or whatever?
I have to admit, I'm not as aware nationwide.
This is a big deal.
It is.
Like, being very clear.
There are communities like Big Walnut.
It's not ours, guys, like, you're killing us.
Every state funds schools differently. Ohio's system, which is currently broken, as you said, does it mostly on property taxes. This is gonna be the wave of the future because property taxes are getting out of control and my colleagues won't do anything about it. But I think this Westerville is the first one that I've heard of, and I think there will be more down the pike in future years, especially if the legislature does what it's threatening to do to Wildwood schools in the next several, whether by the end of this year or in the next several years. But
And I work for state teacher retirement system.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear a lot of things, but I get it. I mean, this is great, and not to put you on the spot too. It's just, it is a big thing, and I know the debate has always been for these days. The debate has always been about retirees. So
Yeah.
and that's where it's like, oh, wow, this is a different world.
I guess the math, what doesn't math to me, and it does math, and I understand what you guys are saying. It's just now we have to compensate, the people that are still in the workforce have to compensate for the property taxes that aren't earned off of people that are still living here, right? So that amount or that percentage has to be higher for the earners in order to compensate. So I guess my questions is have you thought about maybe finding other sources so it doesn't have to be as high? I don't have a problem with this, and maybe the amount is a little bit high for me. And are you spending any of that money to lobby back to the Ohio State Legislature to say, hey, we're getting feedback where people are kind of mad about this and they're looking into other things. Can you fix something, please? Maybe.
I mean, one of the things that I've always heard said is that the least expensive way to provide the right things is to do it locally, right? Because let's say the legislature said, we're going to solve this problem. You know what they're going to solve it with? They're going to solve it with, an increase in the state income tax or something to go ahead and offset it. That means that we're going to pay more in our community with that being distributed out to everybody else. So the most cost-effective way is probably for our community to pay for the services in our communities. That's a bit of a reality. I mean, and you guys probably see it here in Minerva Park, right? It is, purchasing services from other communities, those kinds of costs. So it's the same here. Absolutely, the superintendent and the treasurer are actively involved with the legislature, to make sure that we are getting the most effective options for funding our schools. And I think that this is this is what the board has chosen as the right approach today to meet those needs.
So it's almost really becoming more of a use tax. My husband and I have never voted against a school levy. We never would, because we understand the importance of having good schools, and that keeps our property tax up. This, to me, in my situation at this point in my life, it's a use tax, and I'm wondering if that's almost not what we're having to go to, because I don't know the percentage, but there are a lot of people, probably some in this village, who cannot afford more property taxes. They will have to move out of homes they've conceivably lived in forever. So from my perspective, because I'm a senior, I think that, but I love it. There is so
as I
much.
get that golden buck,
I know, there's so much freedom. So I mean, I understand it, but everything you're saying is true.
Yeah.
So,
Because, and I have some opinions, but I'm gonna try to not levy my opinion. But I think,
No pun intended.
I didn't even think about it. No, so if anybody pays attention to what's going on in the Ohio State Legislature, what keeps being brought forward, it is an abolishment of property taxes.
Yeah.
It is, and
for good and bad
future
reasons.
gubernatorial candidates are also sharing that, as well as the abolishment of income taxes for the state of Ohio.
Oh my God.
So, and over the past 25, 40 years, I've looked it up, and the rate of income tax has fallen drastically over the years, while they're, getting shares of income from sales tax or, other types of taxes. I'm on the Westerville City School site in regards to how the revenues are incoming into the district, and in 2020, 40%, 39.44, was from state and federal revenue, while now in 2023 at least, the most recent one, it was only 25%, which he showed. And I know, because I pay attention to it, and the fair school funding plan is not necessarily being followed, and there is a back and forth. And I think we're lucky as a village to have the 2%, because it is, and we do still have property as well, but the fact that and my understanding that this would be something that would be in perpetuity, it wouldn't have to be brought to the voters every 6 years. So it's reducing a little bit of that levy burden. But the other side of it is what Stacy's saying is, as a wage earner, it does feel a little,
Ouchie.
it
No, it
does
feels a
hurt,
lot
because the
ouchy.
burden is coming upon the working man and woman. And it's less upon the people that benefit from having such a strong school district in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So that's my feedback and thought, but I mean, I think laying the stage of what's actually going on in the state and what direction things seem to be headed, because I think about that, because there's some municipalities that, don't use income tax as a revenue, generator or for services, but I kind of like it. It's a creative solution, and I think it might be a better one.
It's commensurate with what you earn, not what you own, right? That's really what it comes down to, and that's why it's, now, in the positive there is if something happens and you start earning less,
Yeah.
then you pay less, right? I mean, which is,
That's common sense.
it is, but not the property tax, it doesn't necessarily change that, right?
Okay, yeah, that's good.
I just think I think it's very difficult if you followed the Westerville schools and I understand the decrease that the schools are getting and everything, but we followed all of the new buildings and all of the new updates and increases and everything that we've done from the meeting over there, and we were promised no new this, no new that, just 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And this is a hard pill to swallow for people again. As a village, we talk about increasing our salaries and things like that, like 3% each year, and you basically want 25% of that. And it's not almost 25% of it. So it's a really hard pill to swallow when, as a village, we're trying to make sure that our employees are taken care of, and we do annual increases and all of that. And 0.75 is a lot. And
Especially in this,
especially in this.
because it's different in Western,
Yeah,
for sure.
but here's the thing, is like you can apply that same people,
Yeah.
retirees can no longer afford to live in their homes. How about the people with small children?
Correct.
That require berries every 5 minutes, my kids eat.
Wait till they get older and
I
eat
know,
twice as
they
much.
eat
Oh my
twice, they
God.
eat so much,
Oh my
like,
God.
I can't always afford to live here.
So there's not a win.
Not just berries, also prosciutto.
But I think at the end, no matter how you do it, it's going to affect people in a different way, and it's just a matter of, obviously in November, we'll find out what people think, so. I
What
think
has
it's-
been the feedback so far?
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
I think, let's be realistic, I talk to my friends and, like-minded folks, but what I hear is that they appreciate the fact that we're hearing the community, that the Board of Education heard what the community is saying, that they, understand the challenges of property tax, they understand that the community is trying to move away from that, and so it's, they appreciate that. And that's really the key thing that I've heard so far from everybody that I've talked to about it.
So I just want to say one last thing. I raised my daughter in Columbus, and the whole time sent her to Catholic school. Because when the school district does not get the money it needs to maintain services, that's your choice. So you can send your kids to private school, or you can pay for the schools to continue to be a great school district like Westerville. So, to me, I just see that, I see that coming as the future. I think it's gonna be a situation where schools pay base stuff and then families have to pay proportionately into it. That's just me. I'm old. It may or may not happen in my lifetime.
Stop saying that, Kathy.
But I'm serious, there's such a freedom in being older. It is a different perspective when you're not working anymore. It really is. This is work, but you know.
You're not doing a day job.
Yeah.
As I left my day job to get here, yes. Any other questions that I can answer from you? I realize I've used a lot of your time already this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you
I
so
appreciate the
much.
opportunity to speak with you tonight.
Yeah.
Have a great evening and a happy Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
Thank you, what a
Yes.
nice note to start off.
Thank you for laboring. Please pay your income tax.
Labor, work more.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
All right.
A lot.
Oh, I need.
That was great. Okay. Anybody else for citizen comment? Oh,
No. Village.
Village
Wait,
committee.
Committee reports.
okay, where are we?
Village
Committee
committee
reports.
I was trying.
Yeah, it's important.
All right, let's start with streets.
Okay, streets had a lot to discuss. Mainly, there were some area of grievances that we discussed. We will put out an FAQ or a frequent grievances, that's what we're gonna call it. Just to make sure that we are aware of these issues. We are aware this is not ideal timing. This was really our only option. And it may happen again, we are sorry, but this is pretty much our only option in regards to timing, because that is when the funding is released. So if you guys want to pay less in taxes or not want to fund it yourself, you're going to have to put up with some minor and major inconveniences. We are aware of the signage of people driving the wrong way. We have changed the signs. To our knowledge, it has gotten better. If you feel differently, please reach out via email, or if you think that it is a more urgent situation, please call the non-emergent line, the urgent line, the Franklin County line. If you feel that it is an emergency, call 911, obviously. We are aware of some other things that will need to be replaced. We are not planning on ripping up any other streets at this time. We are just planning. So any markings that you see is just for planning purposes. Nobody's going to rip out your yard yet. We will let you know if that will happen and when, probably around July, but not this year. What else do we talk about? Big picture things are going to come in September, where after we meet just for other planning purposes. What else does streets have? Some of our signs we are unhappy with. If you feel that there is a sign in your vicinity that is too high, too low, or looking worn, please let us know so we are aware of it. We will try to do our own survey, but it also helps if you guys reach out. That will be very helpful. That's all I got.
Works for me.
Anything
And-
else?
Did we miss anything? All right. Councilperson Martin, services.
Services. I have reached out to Grounds Masters Landscaping to discuss leaf pickup and making sure that works smoothly from the construction that's going on Minerva Lake Road from Farvey to Westerville Road. I have not heard a call back, but I'm working on that. Trash seems to be doing good. Recycling, they can just go one way up the street westbound, and everything's right there for them. We do have a food truck coming up this Friday, which is LB's Fish and Chicken, and Shug's Barbecue will be here September 10th for First Responders Night.
That's a big deal. First
It's gonna be
responders
on here.
night.
Go ahead.
But also say it again. Say it 10
Say it
times.
10 times.
When is first responders night?
September 10th,
At 5:30 to 7:30.
5:30 to 7.
30.
Oh,
5:30 to 7:30. It's a big deal. Be there or be square.
also, I just want to say that I had an email, like most of you guys, about mosquito spraying, and you can opt out of that like I did, and choose the reason why, if you want. That's all.
And the only reason that we spray is if there is
West Nile.
West Nile in one of the traps.
So it is necessary due to health reasons, not because we hate your lawn.
But you can opt out if you don't want it near your house, 150 yards.
JP wants to West Nile, you heard it here.
Working on getting West Nile.
Working on getting us done. Is that so we can go on sick the next day? Is that how that works? Okay.
When does leaf pickup start? Isn't it next month?
Around, we'll get you an exact date when we get the official contract back signed. I don't have it signed yet. I'm gonna assume around
I wasn't.
the 15th. They will, in the contract, we will not allow them to do Mondays because Monday is trash day and it's too hard with too many trucks. And what else?
Well, I was just gonna say, I was gonna try to work with them to come up on Saturdays up River Lake Road. But again, I don't wanna say that too
Yeah.
early without speaking to them.
Yeah.
so.
So maybe we'll have like a big update next week, just once I get.
I know it's coming close, so if we have dates.
I'm gonna go around, it's usually around the 15th to the 15th of December is typically what it is. The 15th of October, 15th of December, those are not the exact dates, do not write that on your calendar, but roughly around that time.
I'm still in the, I don't have to rake any leaves phases of my house. and
We can have a rake leaves party on Jordan and Park Lane.
But
Party.
sometimes we
I
had
might have that
snow,
week.
we had to work around that. It was when you could, so
Yeah,
that's why.
Okay, thank you.
all right. Now, Council President Camera for Rex and Park.
Yeah, so just a quick update, we have 5 days left of the pool, 4 I guess technically. The pool season is over for 2025. We will start preparing for the 26th pool season. I am excited to say that we got the RFPs for the first phase
What's RFPs?
request for proposal. And so we'll make some decisions on that, start getting planning for the main building to be replaced and upgraded at the end of the 26th pool season, which will lead into the replacement of the pool itself further on down the line. So maybe FY27, I don't know, I don't want to commit to that yet, but I think if we could do it that year, that would be great. We will start discussing next year's pool plans because we like to start selling them in January, and we only have a few meetings left of the year to kind of get all that passed. The only other thing we talked about tonight was about just getting some bids for landscaping around some of the entrances, just to see if we can start identifying those a little bit.
Flowers are nice.
Yeah, the flowers are great. I think we have some annuals we could put in there. We might be able to tap into that Mary Goes Fund for some of that. And then if we want to plant, flowers that need to be planted every season in the mix of all that, I think we could do that as well. So, and that is all I have for Parks and Recs tonight. Recs and Parks.
We're still working on chairs.
Yeah.
It was so much easier the last time, and he has not responded to me the last 2 times I've emailed him, because the price had already gone up once, and I was like, well, can we not get this locked in like we did last time? I'll send you a letter, this or that, and so far, radio silent again. So I will let you know. I mean, if not, we're just gonna have to do it in January, do a PO in January, and they just might be a little more expensive.
Now it's time.
Now it's time. Senator Bill DeMore.
We got them all riled up.
I know.
So thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm just here to say hello and to, answer any questions you might have. We've been out of session since we passed a horrible budget at the end of June that I voted no on because a lot of it was because of what they did to public schooling. We go back, I think, in the middle of September. There are several property tax bills that have been introduced. I've introduced several of them, one to free senior citizens property taxes after they've been in their house for X number of years and have X number of income. Of course, that will never get a hearing. But as somebody said, of course, in this last budget, we cut income taxes that no one actually wanted income taxes cut. We wanted property tax relief, but they decided to cut income taxes as well. So they did, and so obviously the people that make the more money get more of the savings. The people that don't make, and if you actually make under $12,000, your income tax actually go up. So that's what the state's been doing. Mike, there is a ballot issue that people are collecting signatures on. They won the ballot of the primary of 2026 to abolish property taxes. that would not only kill public schools, but would kill safety forces and transportation and bridges and construction and snow plowing, all that would kill basically cities. So we don't know what's gonna happen with that. Obviously, if we don't solve the problem, people are getting upset about it. And, I can't say, as Councilperson Grant said, one of the candidates for governor wants to eliminate income taxes as well. So if both of those things go, the only thing you're gonna have left is to increase the sales tax by 38 to 39% to make up for the money, because when you lose 2 out of the 3 things that fund government, that's only have 1 left. So with that, I'm here to answer any questions you might have. I know you guys know this 161 project is continuing. If you want ODOT to come and speak to your village council, send me an email, I can make it happen. They spoke to the Northland Area Community Council in July, and they came out, and the people in Northland said they did a great job. I was actually at the meeting for most of it. They have a great presentation, and they will come out and explain to you what's going on, since you have 161 in the boundaries. So if you want that to happen, just email me and I'll get them out as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm just here to answer any questions you might have about what's going on in state government. That's, they couldn't see.
Could you send us some dates and times that they might, or get them in contact with me? Because I think they would like that, because we've actually, and
So, I mean, yeah, I will. It's easier if you guys give me dates, you maybe want them here, and I get them.
Thursdays, get with him, yeah. We'll do that after this, but we definitely want to get that rolling.
Yeah, email my Senate office, because I mean, they've been very good, and I told them that I would want, they probably have to vote to visit you as well as another group of folks that affects.
Yeah. I guess my question is, what's happening? Or like, what?
What subject matter you want to know, because I have lots of things going on.
Give me more time, because I just asked the hard questions. How about this? Freddie posed a couple questions. How can we make it better from a local government standpoint?
Make what better?
Whatever that is.
I mean, obviously, you all know that back in 2011 or 12, the governor at the time cut the local government fund in half, and it has not been brought up to that spot since then. And with inflation, obviously, it's a lot less than it was before they cut it. And every year, I put amendments in the budget to increase the local government fund to where it was before it was cut, and then an inflationary increase every year, but of course that goes nowhere. So I just don't see that going anywhere in the near future either. And I'm telling you, it's going to get worse before it gets better. I mean, this budget's going to hurt you in ways that you don't know yet. They don't know if they're going to have a capital bill next year, which I know this building was paid for by some of the capital funds. What was this project or the other project? I forgot which one.
The project.
It was the other project. I forgot which one it is. I got it, which one didn't, I apologize. So they don't know if they're going to have a capital bill next year or not. If they do, of course, please give me stuff as early as possible, and I will try to get it in. It's tough. In the state, I'm in the minority, obviously, because, I'm only 1 9 Democrats out of 33 members. So I usually don't get a lot what I ask for. But I think that we're going to have property tax bills before the end of this year. I'm almost certain of it. Right now, as you know, the House overrode one of the governor's vetoes about emergency levies. We will take that up when we come back in. They couldn't get enough votes to overturn the other parts that the governor vetoed, but they're trying. The Senate president at least told me and told some folks at an event last week that the 20 mil floor is not going anywhere, that they're not going to fool with that there's no appetite in the Senate to get rid of that, which is a good thing. But other thing else, I'm not sure that this legislature won't outlaw what he is trying to pass in November as an income tax. I'm not sure that's one of the things they keep talking about, is not allowing the city, not allowing school districts to have income tax to raise money. So
what are we supposed to do, not have schools?
I'm not going to editorialize my opinion on that, but
Please, I kind of want you to.
it's not the format. You can always call me.
Stacy, they want people to pay for the kids to go to school, so 30,000 a year per kid, you pay for it
Yep,
yourself. They
yep,
want to privatize
that's
schools.
exactly it. They want to
And I'm
privatize
sorry for
schools.
saying that, but,
That's like
I mean,
going
that's,
back to,
it
like,
really feels like the
the
direction that it's
jungle,
going
where
to.
it's like, if you make enough money, your kid survives, and otherwise go work in a
That's
hot dog
exactly what they
factory.
want. They
That-
want only rich white kids to be
Yep.
able to go to
Yeah,
school.
just
That's
sell
like,
us out.
I understand,
Yep.
that's what they're
I
also
mean,
trying to do.
Yep,
Okay? I mean, obviously, building us, that's a,
it's unreal.
so.
I didn't catch your name.
Build more.
He's a big deal.
Bill, I'm showing that you were a co-sponsor of House Bill 311?
I'm not a co-sponsor of any house.
331? Well, it says, at least on the Ohio
Okay,
election,
that was passed.
regarding the village dissolution law.
That was for one village, yes, that was for one village.
We got them that today, because it was a surprise to me when I.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that was specifically, if you don't do a certain amount of things, like for instance, if you have no elected people on a village council, which this would not apply to you, if you don't have a police force, if you don't have, if you meet, there are 11 criteria, if you meet 6 or 7 of them, then the citizens of the village can ask to get the village disillusioned. I mean, you have a full council and mayor here, and everything else.
If I may, on this, the problem in this case, which we reviewed the article today, there are 10 criteria. And the big problem is it didn't allow for contracted services, which, in my view and many of the IT people's views, you want to contract. We used to have.
They told me they did.
We used to have our own sewer system, we used to have water, but it's smarter to work with Columbus. We used to have our own EMS, but again, it's smarter to contract.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was my
And so
question.
now we have 4 of the 10, we're one short. And so that puts us in a bind too, along. And yes, everyone gets elected here, it's not like some little, 200 person village. This is, a couple thousand people here, and everybody serves and they get elected. So we're off that part of the criteria, since we're on that topic.
Okay.
But really, the contracted services, I think, are the big one.
Yes.
Because we provide everything, we
Right.
should get credit for contracted services.
Absolutely.
See, now, the minor section of that was supposed to count, to be honest with you.
In the article of the Dayton Daily did not, so maybe they changed the law by the time it got passed, but our attorney's looking at it now, because I was equally surprised when I got.
Yeah, I mean, that was surprised me, because I thought contractual services were part of what should be.
Yeah.
I thought, honestly, God, I thought it
Yeah.
was, so this is the first time for me that was not contractual, because it's supposed to be, because again, and my guess is that in 10 years, you guys might have enough people not to be village.
No, we can't
they're-
expand.
They're done at 2,500 people, because they expanded 800 homes here.
Okay.
And the fact is that we can't grow anymore. And so we're gonna be a village, now they might be a charter village, there's gonna be a lot of questions concerning charter, non-charter, home rule in Ohio is pretty strong, so I'm a
Oh,
little.
well, it's getting chipped away every day.
Well, I understand that, but it's still in the Constitution at this time.
Yeah,
So,
well,
yes, you-
but the people in the court right now, that might not last long.
Well,
I
we
mean,
might just
it's
have-
home rule unless you want to regulate, cigarettes and flavored tobacco, or paper bags, or drilling, or gun use,
Right.
all that stuff. But so, it's home rule that the majority of the legislature wants to have home rule, and it's not home rule for anything that the majority of the legislators doesn't want. That's the problem right now.
The worst case, we have to buy a garbage
Stressed
truck.
out again. Oh,
It's okay, sorry, we have
Thank
many
you for that.
years to walk through this.
I'm stressed out.
No, but I just forgot I thought contract services were counted, so I
Just so you know, so there's still time to adjust it. It should-
Might be what we have to do.
I will look into it, actually, I will look at staff, and I said, maybe we can slip something in, because I don't think the intent was to have that at all.
Yeah, someone yanked that somewhere.
Okay. Well, of course, that's what happens when, you try to stuff the last minute, you know everything wrong, so I apologize about that, but I was definitely, I understand that it's supposed to count, and this is news to me.
Right on.
Anything else?
that's it.
That's- If we could try for that second
Yes.
meeting in October,
Second.
as the second one in October.
Yeah, that's be enough time for them.
Yeah.
We tried to do this in September, I don't know if I get it done,
Yeah,
but
no.
something October, just email my office, and I will, because they've been very good to come out and talk to folks, and they have a pretty good slide presentation.
Wait, I have one last question. With that 161 quarter, what do you expect, how is that gonna benefit our community? I know it's a general question, and it's kind of a
Well-
long question. On purpose, not trying to
So
say-
theoretically, it was done because they want to have Dakota, not a bus, but the closest thing that we'll ever see in Franklin County to a train, excuse me. It's supposed to go and make that a corridor, and it was originally designed as well to hook up with Licking County transportation to get people to Intel. Now, I am one of the people, I've been public about, I'm not sure we'll ever see a chip made by Intel at that site, but that was part of the plan, is to get people on 161 corridor, because City of Columbus, all those hotels, or hourly things that you see off of 170, off of 71, they're all getting knocked down. So we workforce housing, they're gonna knock all those hotels down, and the goal was the people that were gonna work at Intel were gonna live up here, and the buses were gonna be able to take them to Licking County, and there was an agreement with Licking County, Coda Services, whatever they call Licking County Services, to get people to Intel, because the job force was gonna be so great. Now, again, what happens, because Intel is bankrupt, and the federal government is taking a 10% share of it now, I don't know, but that was the purpose of building the 161, to make it easier for those buses to get where they're going and get people to the job site and back.
But I got Andrew, so they can switch it down.
Well, yeah, a little tougher to do that because it's 161 doesn't go down. But that was the original reason to do all that construction, to get it ready, to make it easier to travel, all the way out there. That's, they can't make it a freeway like they did 161 from 270 out. So they're doing that to make the next best thing, get rid of a lot of those lights, make more circles and all those things that, I'm not a big circle fan, but they're the future in everybody's.
Roundabouts?
Yeah,
That's
it's
what I
around
mean.
that.
Circles, I call circles, right. That was the purpose of doing it.
Dublin loves roundabouts.
So did they in Italy, every street in Italy is a roundabout, but.
I
it's
read
still
a study on
roundabout.
it. They said that you can have more crashes, vehicular crashes, but they're actually less.
That's severe because you're not slowing
Severe,
going through,
yeah.
yes. Because you're slowing down to be able to make the turn, that's what it is.
Kind of same idea.
Anything else?
No.
Thank you for allowing me to be here.
That was lovely, thank you.
Yeah, if you find anything about those core services for the contract on that, let us know, please.
You will have to.
Yeah.
Add that to me, because it's the first time I swear.
I AI'd it and it says that it's okay to be, but I'm not a lawyer, I'm just a guy.
And don't forget, our
Yeah.
first responders night
I wrote it down
is,
September 10th from 5:30 to 7. I was here last year. if you
I know you were, that's why I'm reminding
And it's
you.
on my, I put it on my calendar, because I didn't know that until they announced it, so.
Do we have a food truck?
We're gonna have helicopters again, and am I allowed to say potentially horses?
Shouldn't I?
Horses?
There might be horses and there might be a helicopter. There might be.
A horse
They
on a
did,
helicopter?
they did have.
Last year, if you remember, it was about 92 degrees. It was
I-
brutal last year.
Completely remember.
Oh, I remember.
So,
I completely remember.
well, I appreciate you having me here again. If you don't have my numbers, I have a couple cards I can leave them for you.
We have the
I
internet.
was gonna say, well,
Yeah.
feel free to call, and I said, I work for you, and, again, I kept this part of the district, I lost 1/3 of my district in redistricting, so on January 1st, I lost the Linden, all that stuff that connects to where I actually lived out here, but I picked up the west side now, so my district goes from Little Turtle all the way up there, all the way to the west side, past Prairie Township, so it's a big S, so,
That makes sense.
Of course it does.
Of course it does.
so, thanks, Rose, thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
That was lovely, thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Back to work.
anything? Okay, let's move on.
Next.
Next,
Go another speaker.
legislation.
Oh,
No, yeah, that's all I have on
Yes.
this.
all right, perfect. All right, legislation this evening, we have 3 items to read. The first one is ordinance 2025-16, which is an ordinance amending section 432.38 of the codified ordinances of the Village of Minerva Park. This is updating a shortcutting law. The next one is ordinance 2025-17, which is an ordinance to reallocate appropriations and make supplemental appropriations for the current expenses of the Village of Minerva Park for the year 2025. This is a first reading with the intent to suspend rules that require 3 readings. I would like to make a motion to suspend the rules for 3 readings.
Second,
Perfect.
whatever that, yeah.
Any discussion?
Again, we discussed this in session, where, there are appropriations that are being made. One of the main ones is increases to the pool, and some other incidentals, in regards to government. So one of the things that's happening, we have 2 meetings coming within September with the Finance Committee. We're gonna talk to Jeffrey about just getting a better understanding of timing again in regards to the budget, to try to eliminate as much as possible. Things will pop up, but we want to make sure it's as simple as possible for our village.
Thank you, Tony. Now we gotta vote.
All right.
Motion.
No more questions, then let's move to roll call. Wait a second, okay, yeah. Council President Camera.
Aye.
Councilperson Grant.
Aye.
Councilperson Pinter.
Aye.
Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
Councilperson Passion.
Aye.
Councilperson Cost.
Aye.
All right, so the motion to suspend rules that require 3 readings is passed. Now we move to approve ordinance 2025-17. I'll make a motion to approve that.
Second?
Any more discussion?
Thank you,
Council President Camera.
Aye.
Councilperson Grant.
Aye.
Councilperson Passion.
Aye.
Councilperson Pinter.
Aye.
Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
Councilperson Cost.
Aye.
And it passes. All right, the next resolution 2025-18, which is a resolution confirming the mayor's appointment of Frank Rhodes II as a full-time police officer for the village of Minerva Park, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. This is the first reading with the intent to suspend the rules that require 3 readings and pass as an emergency. I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules that require 3 readings for 2025-18.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
Councilperson Grant.
Aye.
Councilperson Pinter.
Aye.
Councilperson Passion.
Aye.
Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
Councilperson Cost.
Aye.
Council President Camera.
Aye.
All right, now that the motion to suspend the rules that require 3 readings has been passed, I will make a motion to approve resolution 2025-18. Any seconds?
Second.
Thank you.
All right. Councilperson Pinter.
Aye.
Councilperson Passion.
Aye.
Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
Councilperson Cost.
Aye.
Council President Camera.
Aye.
And Councilperson Grant.
Aye.
Is that where we usually ask the question?
No, he's not at his 6 months. At his 6 months, that's when you guys are like,
I never know what it's.
Fire.
Not that I'm gonna ask.
we know his name right now and we know,
Fireworks.
He seems, he
Yeah.
has a lovely family.
there you go. That's all we know. So at 6 months, that's when we ask, how's life? Sounds right?
So we have one coming up, so.
Yes, we have one, that will be on the 25th-ish. Because we are just gonna, instead of just bringing it, we have gone back and forth between doing 3 readings and just doing it, so we're just gonna bring it to you exactly when his 6 month is. We went back and forth, and I guess that's up to you guys, but on this one, we do it as an emergency.
that was the best way to do it.
Just do it as, yeah, so instead of doing the 3 readings, we were just bringing it to you guys at the exact 6 months. Or the closest meeting to the 6 months, instead of doing 3 readings. But if for some reason, somebody up here wants 3 readings, please let us know, because we still have time to at least get a couple in. But yes, we quit doing that. All right, old business. Does anybody have anything, and I'm just gonna lump this, and I'm not in any hurry, but basically pool, maintenance, building, and roadway project, or any other old business?
Can you give us a quick update?
I think we talked pool, we talked road project, right?
Maintenance building, I'm still holding my breath. I do not have the final, we have gotten partial, Eric, have you heard anything? No. So the last update, we had partial permits. I was expecting it around 2 weeks ago for the final, and I've not received any final permit for that. They did clear out some of the brush, and they did try to save as many trees as they could. I think that some of the residents were pretty okay with
What's the
that
biggest hang up right now?
permit.
From who?
I mean,
Glendon Township.
Glendon Township, what is their biggest hang up?
They're,
Or do we even
they're
know
Glendon
exactly?
Township.
Yeah, I think, I'm gonna say it my way, I think we really tried to get this done with as minimal funding as possible when we did the initial plans and everything, and I think it bit us in the butt, is what I'm gonna say. Because they want way more detail than we had, and so Mike has been getting all of the detail. And it's not that we did it wrong, it's just Glendon is dotting their i's and crossing their t's, which is wonderful. But maybe we didn't have as much detail some other time. I don't know, but they're definitely dotting their i's and crossing their t's, which is great, and I have no complaint, other than give me my darn permit. So we're working on it, and we really do believe this will be the last.
Have
the
we
last
reached out to any of the trustees?
We have reached out to, I have talked to Pat, and we have talked to, it is really just a couple of things that's left. But I've not talked to the trustees, but I have talked to Pat, because, yeah, at one point I was a little frustrated that we hadn't gotten it yet. But I mean, we're doing what should be done the right way, so. I'm not asking for favors yet.
You still
I have
have a business, right?
Did I?
That's a separate issue.
Yes.
I thought, we were trying to get an estimate from Brad about putting some boulders or something.
We have his estimate, and I have not gotten with you yet, but I think we just need to get one more for comparison purposes, and we just need to find somebody to get the second estimate. I already have that, I think it was 65 or 8,500,
68.
68, so,
8,500, I think?
yes. It's essentially just like a retaining wall type thing. Jeff did talk to Mike about it, he did say it's gonna be a Band-Aid at this point, and just make sure that we do it right. But I think ultimately, one of the things that we've been trying to do is just make sure that we dot our i's and cross our t's with getting 2 estimates or 3 estimates on certain things that,
I guess.
and making sure that another company agrees with this will at least help.
So the plan was to put big rocks just like it was originally,
Right,
and also I don't want to use the word burlap, but whatever that material is called.
right.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah,
But it would be better than new, if not exactly like it was new, and that was a very inexpensive price than being a multi-bazillion-dollar project. So
And he is moving forward, Mike is aware that we are moving forward on the erosion for the larger issue over there. So yes, but right now, the only thing that's holding us back on that is just getting one more estimate and getting a recommendation from one more person that says, yeah, this is gonna hold you guys back a couple years. And if that is the case, then you guys we can either talk about moving forward and we could bring it up in services, but we're just getting, yeah, I mean, at this point, one more, but we have this price.
I would say if it's under a certain dollar amount, I would be okay to just say, if you get the 2 estimates and we're
Yep.
good, go for it, but I don't know how everyone else feels. Like, honestly, if it's under 10, and I'd say do it.
Exactly.
I don't know if anyone else has any thoughts. I see a thumbs up from Councilperson Burton.
yeah,
Yeah.
because we do not want to go next summer and not do anything to that, and it gets
Yeah.
worse, and then we're really.
Before
I just
spring.
don't want to delay, if we get the prices and we get that, yes, you know, this will help. I don't feel like it needs to come back to council
Oh, I
for
agree.
us to discuss it again. I'd rather it just get scheduled and done.
I thought it was.
Are they gonna use existing rock, if you don't mind, let's just.
That was the initial
So-
talk, is they would use what was there and move them back.
Well, if they can, when he talked about it, use what we have, but we would have to get additional to make up.
You'll have
Yeah,
to supplement, now is there any additional cost on the supplemental rock?
that was
Part of
the
the
price
part of it.
to fix that also, yeah.
Because they would, again, there's like probably 10 boulders there roughly, I'm guessing, decent size, that they would push over to that side of the,
Yeah, if you take, those little mini excavators with the rubber tracks, you just
Yeah.
kind of grab them, put them back up, line them up, and then add some more rocks, and then have a, whatever this plastic is, or some kind of
Right.
containment
yes.
fencing. Sorry, I forgot the name.
Right.
But again, it's gonna basically be just like it was, if not better than it was, for this price point, under 10K. What are we doing?
What was it like before? I know you.
Exactly. It's just, the rocks have kind of been pushed over time.
Those rocks were pushed to the
Or
opposite.
water has eroded them, because you gotta think, when that floods, it floods,
Rains.
yeah.
I know.
It watered, I believe.
Why did they go to that side? Anyway, okay, I'm done. Why did they go to that side? I'm just curious, you don't, I'm not making know.
Okay, so as that water kind of curves around, when we had a very heavy fall, I've seen pictures of other residents have taken of that. I'm talking the pathways right here, that water has exceeded
Above
almost
that.
above that. And if you think how much water is coming down, it's moving that rock as well as all the dirt, and that's what you're seeing right now. That erosion is very, very severe, so.
Thank you.
So, any other council members have any thoughts on that? Are we okay with allowing the village, administration to move forward if it's under a certain dollar amount?
Absolutely.
So, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think there's an appropriation needed, if it's under 10,
I think you're right.
I think that's what we talked about.
We're good. And so, just for the record, verbally, if you want to say yes or no, I think that's.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Yes,
Yes.
of course.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
And then if for some reason I do have something I have to bring to you, I'll bring it to you guys. I mean,
No, that's fine.
As a work session or something.
I don't see the need to slow it down. I think
No,
we're
I agree.
moving, so,
It
I
needs
was
to be
just
done before
waiting
spring.
to
yeah.
get the other estimate and so I could talk about it in a work session because I thought, you know,
In the next one.
I had discussed with all you guys, so that's why I haven't.
All right, we've got one more, well, there might be more than one.
I think there are two. I just want to update on the survey real quickly. Council members and administration have the latest draft. They're basically testing it. Once I get all the revisions from everyone, I will send that back to the gentleman's company who's putting it together. He will make the changes at that point. It will come back to council, administration, the solicitor, and our village planner, and just make sure everybody likes it. And then it'll be ready to go. So, you know, still shooting for September. I'm shooting for September 15th, but may not happen quite that quickly, but it's moving. It's moving.
I've taken the survey. It's a very good survey. It's very quick. I think most residents are going to participate hopefully and like it as well.
I just wanted the ones to not just be one, I wanted to pick more than one option for some of them.
Oh, I know, thank you. Yeah, you and Tony, were you the other one who said, no, some of the choose as many as you want, don't let you.
No.
Some
I
of
agree.
them some of them didn't work, Kathy.
Some did, yeah, but,
I want all, yeah.
yeah, well,
It was
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, Pete wants that too, so,
Yeah.
yeah, no
Yeah, because
problem.
he's gonna be like, why is there only one, why did everybody
I know.
answer one when it says?
Like the thing about why do you live here?
Yeah,
I was like, well, it's kind of one reason,
exactly.
but like I really want to emphasize some other ones that I do.
Paying Rita tax was not an option,
Hey, read it.
It's
Oh.
not a
That's why
REIT
we want
tax,
to
it's
live
an
here.
income tax.
because we wanna pay so much.
I would like to follow up. I don't know, we had talked about Farview Road, Marquee, that sign, lighting, electric, irrigation. And I know we have some construction going there, but I don't know, have we talked to Westerville City Schools about it again? Or have we gotten quotes from contractors? Yeah,
They said we had a nice group meeting about it a little ways back. They, obviously, school restarted, so I'm gonna reach back out.
Okay.
They got past that, and see what happened.
okay.
They said they were looking into it.
And I know, Jason, you had asked if we could get a quote, I thought, from someone to do it. Is that something, did you ask to get a quote for powering up that sign at Farview and 161?
Yes.
Because I think you had mentioned like, hey, well, let's get a quote to figure out how much it's gonna cost.
right
Because
now
we don't
there's-
know if they're going to do something, so.
Right, and right now, there's not even anything down there, they
Yeah.
removed it all. Is that right?
Well, somebody cut the line, and then.
But didn't they take the box out too? Isn't the AED thing gone?
AP removed the meter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what they're supposed to do,
Okay.
because the electric was cut, but they don't know what happened either.
Okay.
It's a private line.
no, just bless you,
He
chief.
said it was, So,
Peace be with you.
well,
Okay.
really, it's our understanding that there was a cause why their contractor, when they were putting their water line in, is what caused the
Yes.
problem. And so we're trying to get them to call me up and
Fix it.
fix it.
It's been years. You should send more emails.
I know.
That's all I had. I just wanted to bring that up.
Okay, any more old business? All right, new business. We've talked about this, the resident concern of 2025 roadway project. Again, if you have any problems, questions, or concerns, if it's emergent, call the police. If it's not, send us an email.
With a contact form on the
Urgent,
website.
And it can wait.
Yeah, so, and what?
The contact form on the website. It
Yes.
says contact us.
Yes.
You can fill out a form.
Or you can just email the chief and let him deal with it.
I don't know the chief's email address, so.
It's easy.
That email's undeliverable, that's so weird.
I think that's it. I'm sad that the pool is coming to an end, but it's cold outside and I feel like we're in the middle of winter right now, so.
80 Sunday.
And it's gonna be 80 Sunday, so go enjoy the pool for the last day, go use your free passes, and anybody that has those. And the only other thing that I have that is completely new that we've never talked about is there is First Responders Night on September 10th at 5:30 to 7:30, and there might be horses.
Where is it?
On helicopter?
Oh my goodness.
Where's it gonna be?
It is gonna be at the middle school, and there's gonna be mazes for the kids.
food trucks?
There's gonna be food trucks.
Are there any activities for my kids that need activities?
There is going to be a maze that was there. There's gonna be face painters.
Oh my god.
Um,
And horses?
Is Chief Delp gonna be there?
Is Chief Delp gonna be there?
Well, is the Pope face
Are all our council members gonna be there help volunteering and stuff?
Okay, in fairness, now that you just brought that up, because that was probably my big fail of the night. I know
I'm
JP's
gonna
helping
be
out
there.
picking up food. Anybody that is able to come around 4:30 to help set up tents, and if you can't, I totally understand.
What day is that?
It is Wednesday, September 10th. I'm looking for a nod. September, it's Wednesday, September 10th, 5:30. Anything before that, we cannot get into the school until 3:30. So it is like mad rush to get everything done from 3:30 to basically 5, because at some point, all of the first responders start showing up, so there's people directing all of them. JP is gonna be picking up some of the food. We'll probably send another officer, because we've got food getting picked up from this side of town and then this side of town, so we'll have different things going that direction. So it is just that all of the officers will be here. I don't remember what time they're supposed to be here, but anybody that's able to help from council, you will get a free snack, and it's a good snack.
What is it?
Donato's, Jersey Mike's, potentially Chick-fil-A, don't put me on that yet, but even better will be
Nothing but cakes.
nothing but.
Man.
And if you can't get there early, if you still wanna help man one of the tents or anything like that, that would be ideal as well. So there's gonna be things, we have, waivers that are gonna have to be signed, so somebody's gonna have to man that. There's multiple little things, somebody's gonna have to man the tents. Again, the officers will all be there walking around and they will have jobs to do as well.
Is there a
So-
bounce house?
There is not a bounce house
good.
because that was a train wreck the last
Yeah.
time. I think I do not have anxiety, except now I have anxiety.
I was voluntold to watch that one.
I volunteered him because I couldn't handle it.
We need an ER doctor to handle that.
It was
Yeah.
bad. So now we have the maze and it actually worked really well the last time. It was great. Kids seemed to enjoy it. But again, and there's gonna be therapy dogs there. Not just Kimber will be there, but therapy dogs.
Can we get a Michigan corn maze where we just do one straw of corn and then? Sorry, I have to have a joke. No. Yeah, I can do it.
I will say, guys, I do appreciate all of our first responders, and thank you so much for doing all the wonderful things for our village, and it is a big, we want to honor you, and we want to say we value everything that you do for the village, and I want to end this by saying that my 3-year-old daughter, a couple days ago, said, I want to be arrested by the police, and I said, what? Why? And she goes, so they can give me a sticker, and that is what our children think of the police department, and that is lovely. I didn't correct her. I was like, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
My kids really love the police.
And stickers.
And
That's cool.
And
Right.
stickers.
Make sure we have stickers. I think
Make sure you have
Rio's.
stickers. They'll be so disappointed when they actually get arrested and there's no sticker.
We got a lot of cool stuff for the kids.
Yeah, we have some of these that are gonna be, they've seen Minerva Park, there's pink, there's all different colors. The suckers are awesome, they're actually really good charity suckers,
They love that.
they're really good.
Are the police gonna be signing autographs? I feel like that would be hilarious.
I think only the rabbits.
I think if you ask them, they will all do it. I
Yeah,
don't think there's nobody's gonna turn down a kid for an autograph.
yeah.
You can just go speeding down like Burgundy one anytime.
I tried that. Doesn't work.
Is there anything else for the good of the order?
I think we better get out of here before we get in trouble.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Go for it.
I guess this would be addressed to either safety, streets, or both.
Okay,
And on 161,
yeah.
the issue with oncoming traffic coming from both directions.
Which part of 161?
Well, primarily headed west on 161.
I don't know what west is. Are we going towards? Yeah, I'm a woman. We don't do it like that.
Are you talking about the semis,
I'm sorry.
where the semis are parking?
Are
Like
you
if you're
talking
heading
about-
that way?
No, 161, the entrance to Hawthorne.
Just Hawthorne.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, I believe it was going to be addressed at some point, and I understand it's a jurisdiction, probably more the city of Columbus than it is the county or the state. But I just wanted any activity, discussion with anybody, because in my view, and many other people in the village, that's an accident waiting to happen.
If I can ask, what's the problem going west?
Well, to post a street light, when you're coming, oncoming vehicles coming from the west, and you're in that lane to get into the school area, particularly people picking up their children and so forth. I just wondered, is anybody addressing it, or is it just?
So,
is it considered a non-issue?
Let's let
You
safety talk.
haven't explained what the issue is.
Well, the issue is oncoming traffic and trying to get
You say
into
someone's trying to get out from
the
Hawthorne,
school.
and the oncoming traffic is too fast, and so someone's trying to get out there's a conflict when they're turning right to get out there.
Well, you're trying to turn left.
No,
To get
turning
off-
left,
you're
coming in,
Coming from
and-
the east.
and
on
turning against
161,
traffic, yeah.
Oh,
And that little service road
Yeah.
that gives you in between Hawthorne and the middle school.
Okay.
And so, I don't know, the question's been asked, and
That's still on.
I still don't
I'm so
understand.
you're heading-
Westbound,
heading this
westbound
way.
going and turning left on the
yeah,
Fairview
we're
Road,
coming from the east
eastbound
on
traffic.
161.
One person, please.
If I may, heading westbound on 161, you come up to the turn lane to turn into Farview Road / Hawthorne. The eastbound traffic is coming this way, and it's hard to turn left, correct me if I'm wrong here, as you're turning left on the Farview Road, the eastbound traffic is coming head on, and you can't turn
Well,
left
the west-
into.
Yeah, being
But you're going
eastbound
west,
traffic,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
that's what you're trying to say.
That's Columbus.
Yeah.
So,
Is it
wait a minute, you're telling me that you have to yield to the oncoming traffic when turning left and this is an issue?
I believe he's saying that the traffic is backed up on the Farview Road for the school, so you
Well,
cannot.
it's not even backed up, it's just oncoming traffic coming from the west, headed east, and you're in that
You're in that
exit
you're in that
road
turn.
trying
Yeah,
to
the
get
turn lane.
into where the middle school is and the elementary. And it backs up sometimes, and then you can't see, if you're in that lane, they can't see you, and there's a blockage. And I guess it sounds like nobody's really noticed it or realized it, or it isn't an issue.
I've noticed people busting U-turns.
No, I can see
So
it.
I can say that we have put out we've had the school put out two parent emails to enter Hawthorne at pickup from the service road. So we're trying to push as much traffic as we can down to come in Ponderosa and come down the Northern Plaza Drive and line up there rather than backing up on 161. So if we can get that cooperation, it should relieve some of the pressure on that intersection.
So so I understand how you have the map up, there's too many people, you're saying right here, heading here to turn. And they can't on the map, if I'm correct. So you're trying to make a left-hand turn, coming here, and you're saying it's dangerous because people are, they're obviously zipping along 55 right here.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't, always go past it and just use that light and come back.
I go to Ponderosa, I avoid that whole area.
Yeah.
I mean, that.
There's so many other entrances in the neighborhood, why even?
Eric, was there ever a problem putting a light?
Where are the cars at that are blocking your view?
The oncoming headed east, coming from the west on 161,
So this.
and as, well, right where you've got it marked there. It's that like access road that kind of turns in off of 161, and then you're trying to get into, in between the middle school and Hawthorne.
So are you saying that the cars in the turn lane?
Yeah,
To go to Old Dublin are blocking your?
right here.
This is blocking.
This access road coming in right here.
But I think the question that
Yes.
she's asking, you said cars are blocking your view. Are you talking about the cars that are in the other turn lane that are going in that service? road?
Well, as it backs up and just cars in general coming down 161, headed east, and you're trying to turn in, and it's kind of a, what is it, is it Frogger? You're playing Frogger to get across the street, and you have to wait until it's clear. It just seems like there should be a stop right there.
Okay, so you're saying the volume of traffic on 161 is making it difficult to turn left off 161?
Exactly.
Okay,
I get, yeah.
we will look into that.
Okay.
Is that our jurisdiction or is that Columbus?
No, that's gonna be, it's ODOT and Columbus right there. Columbus.
State Route
Half
161.
of it's ours.
Half of it.
Right to the,
The other side.
We don't have jurisdiction to put any light in, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Oh, I realize that, but I just wanted to make that negotiation with Columbus to address the issue.
Well,
Would that,
That's being proactive before an accident happens.
I'm with you, it's easier to get perhaps ODOT to work with Columbus.
You know, just driving through there so much over the years, it's kind of ironic because it's actually I've seen more accidents on that north side where the Dublin is spelled right there
Oh, yeah.
than I did, it's dangerous, that's why I would, but I've seen more than a few accidents on the north side of that, rather than the south side of that.
because isn't
Where
it
that
like people are trying to
bicycle
hurry
spot
it down as part
Yeah,
of
and
like the-
there's just so much
It's
traffic, there's a lot more
scary.
traffic going that way too, just my experience.
Well, they don't stop at that stop sign.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think you bring a good point too, though, if you don't mind me saying. There is also blocking too, because if it's backed up going east, like right where Granville's spelled right there, if it's backed up, it's actually blocking the view of the people turning left too. So there is a huge concern there, guys, and it's 55 miles per hour, which we all drive that. And then but it's something that,
And does Northland Plaza ever get backed up? If we're asking folks to get off 161, get on Northland Plaza, does that ever get backed up?
That's where he's got them directing right now.
Right.
During
So-
school
so
takeover.
that's-
I'm trying to put them up this way.
Yeah,
So much better to do
so
that.
that's not necessarily
and
blocking.
by the way,
Yeah.
you're referencing all times, right? Not just during school hours.
Yes, he
because-
absolutely. He wants to that's because of the volume of
And
traffic.
it is, as the joke of
well-
Intel, if that ever does
It has
happen,
nothing to do with.
and you get more trucks and heavy equipment and everything.
Took it a while.
Normally they would come around 270 possibly, but they get diverted, well, if it gets backed up, coming around 270.
And keep in mind, and I know the chief knows as well, there's a hill on the bridge coming west, it's kind of a hill coming down, and then there's also a lesser hill coming off of Ponderosa coming that way too.
Yeah,
There's definitely something there, there'd have to be a traffic study, I'm sure, right? I mean, at some point to.
Right, it's not gonna be us at the end.
So the,
It's gotta be warranted by ODOT.
The no left turn there, which existed back in 2016, in 2017, that was redesigned so you could only turn right coming out of there.
Right.
They blocked that off so you couldn't go across because we were having major car crashes there where people didn't really realize that they were crossing 6 lanes.
Yeah.
And we're heading across there, not realizing that these cars coming over the hill were going like 60 miles an hour and did not have enough time to make it all the way across. So that redesign, since that, we've had one accident and basically a woman turned in and it was icy, hit the median there, the little island, and rolled her van. And that, since that redesign though,
At least
we haven't had any crashes other than.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, over the 40-some years that I've been here, I remember when you go right across, you said 2016, and not only that, it's always been be very cautious as you're turning, you know what I mean? Like, I know a traffic light would be obviously a better idea, but it's just drivers need to be aware of their surroundings when you're going through that intersection, for sure.
They're not residents coming down.
Well, I should say, people driving, yeah.
We said drivers.
I don't know if a traffic light would be a great idea there, guys, because you're going at 60 and then you're coming to a complete stop right there.
It used to be
over the hill.
65.
We're not traffic engineers.
We are not the body that makes.
Right, so here's the problem. We are not in charge of this is all theoretical. We can get a traffic study and reach out and we
Well,
can
I guess what I'm asking for is maybe somebody study it, see if
It
it
can't-
would
yeah, it has to
warrant
be-
a
it
study
has to
to
be
be
the
done by
body.
the city of Columbus in conjunction with the borough department. Before an accident happens, and then the more traffic that builds up and comes down here, as if Intel ever gets built, it could be a problem in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing it to us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
No, let's
Motion
go.
adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Who's gonna do that?
I want to do it.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, wait.
All those in favor?
Aye.